Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Life has been busy and lately I haven't been able to do a lot of videos. I'm excited to be back and do some videos again. In this video, we're going to answer two important questions. How much should you really spend on vacations and why I personally prioritize spending on experiences rather than things, To start, let me ask you this. Do you remember a specific gadget that you bought 10 years ago? Now compare that with a vacation or a travel that you did around the same time. Which one comes to your mind more vividly? For me, all I can recall is a vacation that I took with my family almost a decade ago. I don't remember my first iPhone that I bought in 2008 or whatever, right? So this brings us to the big question, right? What is the right perspective on vacation spending? And how much should you really spend? And why is it important? And what could be too much as well? In this video, I will share my personal perspective on how do I choose to spend and a framework maybe you could also consider using to make a decision for yourself. So let's get started. By identifying a common mindset in our society, right? Many people view spending on vacation as a pure luxury and partially because it's seen as money wasted down the drain, right? The prevailing thought is why spend 1 lakh rupees on a trip when you can invest the same amount in a mutual fund or a fixed deposit and the money will grow over a period of time as a financial asset. The reality is, while it's true that money can build assets and generate returns, there is another side to this. Experiences and memories are what often gives us our lives a deeper meaning, right? The ability to create new experiences, whether through a vacation or a journey, is an investment itself in yourself, right? The key idea is that these experiences create a value that will last you a lifetime. It's also crucial to clarify that vacation does not necessarily mean that you take an expensive international trip. It could be any break that you take from a regular routine that allows you to experience new things, right? It could be just driving out of the city for a couple hours and spending a day or two. That is a vacation as well, right? So now that we identified the problem, let's address the core question, right? How much should you actually spend on vacation? To find a compelling answer, right, I want you to first consider another significant expense, most of us, right, your annual tax bill that you pay to the government. So depending on the income you make, you could be paying anywhere from 0 to 30% or more of your earnings to the government, right? Now put this into perspective with specific figures in India, right? If you earn about 20 lakh rupees in India, you pay about 4.3 lakhs in taxes to the government. And if you make 40 lakhs, it's about 10.5 lakhs to the government, right? And if you make 60 lakhs, roughly it's about 18.5 lakhs. Again, rough numbers, right? Now compare this to your vacation spending and between an income bracket. Did you spend anywhere close to what you paid in taxes last year? Or even half of that amount? I mean, some of you would have, but majority of us, may not have really spent that, right? That's the reality, right? And this probably because you never looked at it from this perspective. When you look at it as 1 lakh rupees, it looks pretty big, significant. But when you look at it from a different perspective, the whole changes, right? So what this comparison reveals is a very powerful insight, right? If you're not allocating a meaningful amount for your own expenses or your own experiences, right? You are essentially working more for the government than for your personal life and your experiences enrichment, right? So you're prioritizing government taxes and payments over investing in your well-being and your memories, So that is the fundamental perspective I wanted to, put it out there. So this comparison really offers a powerful new perspective to you, right? While again, there is no single right answer, right? Okay, you had to spend. So just imagine, right, a contemplation is, imagine you earn 100 rupees and you get 30 to the government and then you spend about 5 to 10 rupees on your own experiences. Does it make sense, right? So just the idea is if you are giving about 30 rupees to the government, why can't you spend 5 to 10 rupees on yourself, let's say for 100 rupees. So that's the fundamental idea. So if you frame it in that way, then it makes sense. Then you make 1 lakh rupee, then, even though that number looks, big, large numbers, but the percentage and the perspective all changes, right? So what is a practical guide to make this decision? Again, there isn't a universal rule. There is no study done. My view is about allocating anywhere from 10 to 15% of your annual gross salary towards a vacation. It's a strong target, right? So let's break this down with a simple example for a practical budgeting scenario. Suppose you make about 20 lakh rupees a year. Now after taxes, about 4.3 lakhs, you have about 16 lakhs left with you. From the post-tax income perspective, a common allocation looks like this. 50% of that is about 8 lakhs, which is for your daily living expenses, and 30%, which is about 4.8 lakhs, you spend toward for your savings and investments, and 20% is for discretionary spending, right? About 3.2 lakhs, which includes your vacations, experiences, anything that is discretionary. Right? So if you follow this model, a person making about 20 lakh rupees could reasonably budget up to 2 to 3 lakhs for travel or vacation, any of these things, right? Let's take another example for somebody making 40 lakh rupees income, right? Now for that person, after taxes of about 10.5 lakhs, you have about 30 lakhs left with you. So applying the same rule of 50, 30, 20, you could allocate about 5 to 6 lakh for vacation. Again, this looks like a big number, but again, if you look at the percentage terms, this is how it looks, right? Again, these are of course rough estimates, right? Your personal situation, your commitments, all of these will dictate your final number. But the whole idea is a 10 to 15% of gross salary is an excellent benchmark that you can aim for. Now you might be curious about my personal spending as well, right? Do I follow this? Yeah, I do follow this. In fact, even higher, I would say, right? Very closely. I spend about 10 to 15% of my gross salary on vacations, or sometimes slightly more in certain years, right? So just to give a real life example, right? Last year we took a major vacation to Bhutan, and which costed about 4 to 5 lakhs. But this year we traveled much more than what we did last year. We went to Dubai, we went to Vietnam, we went to Malaysia, right? So Dubai trip costed us about 4 lakhs, Malaysia was about 2 lakhs, Vietnam was about 2 lakhs. So all in all, we spent a lot more than what we did, compared to last year. And the reason is very simple, right? I realized that my kids are growing older, much faster than I want them to, right? The amount of time I have with them is shrinking, right? My elder one is now entering higher grades, and their availability is going to reduce because there will be more focus on education, all of these things, right? So I made a conscious choice to double down on vacation this year. Maybe I might do next year as well, right? So you have to make a judgment call based on your situation, right? But again, why do I really choose to spend, so much, on vacation, right? For me, family vacations serve two fundamental purposes. First, it gives us an ability to experience new things together as a family, getting out of this day-to-day routines, right? And second, memories we make, these are some new memories you can tie to a new place, right? These last forever. I still vividly remember our trip that we took to Europe about 8 years ago with my 3-year-old daughter, right? She was very cute back then. And the experiences we had were fantastic, right? I will never forget them, because she was a toddler and we were carrying her and doing a lot of things, So this idea really resonates, with a concept from a book I read recently called Die with Zero by Bill Perkins, He talks about what is called a compound effect of memories, right? So his point is that every year you should be making deposits into your memory bank account, just like you do a financial investment. So the compound effect of all these memories will really have a huge effect when you really are going to one day hang your boots and retire, right? So these are some of the experiences when you will really cherish when you grow older. So the whole concept of planned vacation is very relatively new in for many of us in India, including us, right? Because I was born and raised here. It's definitely picking up now. Now we see more and more people going for vacations, travels, and all of that. For me, in the past, when I was a kid, the vacation meant was going to my grandparents' house for summer, spending entire summer there. It was wonderful, actually. We absolutely loved it. There was, no distractions, all of this, right? But the difference was we were going to the same place, and the memories are all tied to that place. Now, it wasn't about really exploring new destinations for us, right? A lot has changed now. Since then, we can afford to travel. Good amount of you can afford to travel. The culture of planning, traveling abroad, or even traveling outside the city has become part of our lives, right? And this shift is important, right? Because it highlights a crucial window of opportunity that you have to create valuable memories, right? So the time you really travel with your family and your kids, right? Especially when you're kids and young, and there is no pressure of 10th grade, 11th grade, all of that, right? So this really is going to be important. Another important thing is energy levels, right, of you as a person. Imagine once you hit 50s and 60s, you may not have the same energy what you have right now, right? So this is why I truly believe that if you're in 30s or 40s, early years, right, try to travel as much as you can with the budget you can allocate to it. It need not be an international vacation, so that you actually have that enthusiasm and you can have some of the memories that last a lifetime, right? My personal rule or thumb rule that I have for myself is I plan a summer vacation where it's about 1.5 months, we can plan a longer vacation. Then I try to take one or one family vacation during the winter break, right, during Dasra time and all of that, right. Again, sometimes in the middle we do 1.5 year, 1 or 2 trips with friends and family. But the idea is to get away and spend some time with them. So the key takeaway for you is review your overall spending, look at your thing, and allocate a portion of your income towards your vacations, and not just for investments, right? So that's the idea, right? So again, when you are older and when your children are older, what they'll truly remember and value is, it's the memories that they had shared with you, right? All of these memories will really, really make a difference, right? So those adventures, those experiences, all of those, these will really last a lifetime, right? I mean, if you can afford to, might as well do it, right? So that's the core idea, right? In short, I highly recommend, right, that you spend anywhere from 10 to 15% of your gross salary on vacations. It's an investment that pays you back priceless memories. So would love to hear from you, what is your perspective on vacations, how you're spending on vacations, right? And what is your budget? And do you have a magic number? Do share your thoughts, in the comment section below, and would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe for getting regular updates.